Okay, I think we are able to. Yes. So first of all, a very good afternoon, and I hope my voice is audible. And if my voice is audible, can I get a yes in the chat box? Okay, fine. So yes, we have a good sort of audience here, and it is a Sunday, and we are here to learn something. And the topic is obviously it is about organization behavior, right? So we always have this question about the behavioral changes among people in a regular society. But every single person actually represents two sort of characters or two sort of behaviors. One is a professional behavior, and the second one is a personal behavior. And the third one is like he may be restricting himself with that behavior to the society. But let's try to figure out and decode the elements related to the organizational behavior, that is the professional behavior. So initially, we'll just start with the origin of it. Where and how did this organization behavior start, and why it is represented like this? How people were coining it in the earlier stage. Okay, probably in 1920s, there was an electric company, and this electric company, what they did is they just tried to increase their productivity in their employees setup. They were trying the maximum, but they were not able to increase the productivity factor. And what happened is the team members and the company members had a small meeting and decided to work on this process. Okay, we are doing hard work, we are putting maximum efforts, but still we are not able to get the improvement or get the productivity increase in the organization. When people thought something about it, what happened is they just started working on the employee. Okay, they just started working on the employee instead of the organization or instead of the company prospects. Okay, that is how this whole phase of organization behavior concept was started. Okay, there is an effect called as Hawthorne effect. Okay, there is an effect called as Hawthorne effect, and this Hawthorne effect is nothing but it says, that is, this effect says that if a person is being monitored, if a person is being monitored and evaluated and taken care of, obviously their behavior will change in a positive way. This is called as Hawthorne effect. Okay, the reason people coined this as a Hawthorne effect is I said you something, right? There was an electric company in 1920 which started working on the employees instead of the company aspects. That company is Hawthorne. Okay, it was an electric fan related company, and since they coined this particular term, they just mentioned that let's represent it as a Hawthorne effect. Okay, and it says that if a person is being taken care, monitored, and evaluated, their productivity will be improving and their prospects will be improving in a positive way. That is called as, in a very simple way, Hawthorne effect. Okay, this Hawthorne effect is being applied in the whole concept of organization behavior. Now, what is organization behavior? It's very simple. It is about analyzing the people, their elements, and how they work in a group or as an individual inside a company or inside an organization. Okay, analyzing how a person as an individual or in a group works inside the company. This is called as organization behavior, or analyzing these factors is represented as organization behavior. Okay, so we have just talked about the origin of how this organization behavior has started and what is the basic meaning of an organization behavior. Now, let's try to make the session more interactive, where why companies are so much focused about this organization behavior aspect. I know most of the people are from the psychology background, and being from the psychology background, what is your opinion? You can just mention it. Why companies are focusing on this organization behavior aspect? You can just mention it in one line or one word. Okay, understand that there is no right answers, there is no wrong answers. We are here to make mistakes and learn from the mistakes. So there is no right answers, there is no wrong answers. Let's see. You can just type your answers in the chat box. The question is very simple: why companies are focusing on this particular topic of organization behavior? Specifically, after 2000 or 2010, this topic has been a very playing a prominent role, right? You can use the chat box. For the next 1 minute, I'll be checking your answers. I'll just make sure that whoever has been answering and also mention their names as well. And let's see, okay, why companies are focusing on this topic of organization behavior. What is your opinion as a psychology student or from a student background? You can answer it in the chat box. Okay. Because if the employees are satisfied with their job, they'll be more motivated to work. Yes, Muskan says because if the employees are satisfied, they'll be more motivated. Okay. Sanjana Verma says for high performances in job. Yes, true. Thereby, the growth of the organization will also be increasing. Yes, true. Okay. Profit, Sukalai says profit. Yes, that is also an aspect. Yes. Focusing on the enables the company to motivate their employees. Yes, and it actually enables the companies to motivate in a better way. That's good. Okay. Okay, that's nice. Yes, I think as I said, most of your answers are right, and there is no right answers. There is no wrong answers. Okay, it is all about we trying something and we improving our answers. Okay, I will always say to the students that there is no right answers, there is no wrong answers. It is all about trying an answer, trying something, and improving your answers. That is what actually matters. Okay, fine. Now, the whole concept of organization behavior or the reason companies are giving importance is obviously whatever answers you said is correct. I will also try to add some more points to it. Say for instance, it's a very simple factor where if you take care of your employees, the employees take care of your company. Okay, if you take care of your employees, the employees take care of your companies. That is the one important factor. And the second important factor is, say for instance, if your employees are motivated, if your employees are healthy, if your employees are actually in a good work environment, obviously the productivity increases, right? When the productivity increases, what happens? The profit increases. When the profit increases, the company goes to the next level. Okay, when the company goes to the next level, what happens? It will be somewhere be benefitable for the whole employees setup. This is what happens. It is something like a chain cycle. Okay, when the productivity increases, the profit increases. When the profit increases, the company goes to the next level. When the company goes to the next level, obviously they will make sure that the employees are also growing, both financially as well as in their career standards also, right? So this is what the whole concept of organization behavior is. Okay, and this is the purpose behind it also. Now, we have discussed about the purpose behind organization behavior, the origin and what it is and something like that. I will try to give you a small explanation related to the elements or important element factors in an organization behavior. Okay, so there are only 3 to 4 elements. One is people, the second is structure, the third is technology, and the fourth is environment. I'll repeat. Okay, 1 is people, 2 is structure, and 3 is technology, and fourth is environment. So understand that, yeah. So understand that this will not be a typical PPT session or something like that. I just want to make sure that the session is more interactive. Okay, so because you have been already, what is it, going on throughout with your PPTs for the whole week, right? Most of your college sessions would have been with PPTs and all stuff. So I just wanted to make sure that this session is more interactive than a normal session. Okay, that is why I'm just explaining with things, and I'll also make sure that you are also getting the maximum benefit and learning from this session. Okay, fine. As I mentioned, we are trying to discuss about the four elements, that is people, structure, technology, and the last one is environment. Now, I'll try to ask you a few questions related to these four elements. Why people are important in an organization? Can I get an answer in the chat box? Why people are important in an organization? You can write, you can just say your answers. Any answers should be fine. Any one-liners. Okay. Yes, to increase their engagement commitment. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the main product work. Yes. Okay. Because they're the employees. Okay. Because without them, the company cannot perform any task with efficiency. Yes. Yes. Okay. Now let's see, let's say why this people element is given much importance, or why this is the first element in the OB, that is organization behavior. I'll give you two scenarios where you recruit the most positive candidate. Okay, this particular candidate, let's say them as candidate A, and let's say another candidate as candidate B. Candidate A is a very positive person. They always take responsibilities and take initiatives. Okay, and they always make sure that they are having a positive ambience among the organization, and they are in good rapport with everybody, with every single individual person. Okay, let's say candidate B. Okay, candidate B is always negative. Candidate B keeps on complaining things. Okay, candidate B is not able to adjust with the factors. Okay, is not able to adjust with the factors or the representations in our organization. Instead of clearing the problems, they are just complaining about the problems. Okay, what happens? A one negative candidate can spoil the whole factors of an organization or the whole work aspect of an organization. But as same as a one single positive candidate can give and make a lot of difference and a lot of improvement, and also pave way for the growth of an organization. So in the four elements of organization behavior, the first element is obviously it's about the people. And if you want to make sure that you are having a positive candidate inside the organization, number one is you should be focusing on proper hiring. Number one is you should be focusing on proper hiring. That is, during the interview itself, you should be able to, as a HR professional or as an industrial psychologist, you should be able to analyze the candidate and then bring them inside. That is the important factor. The second important factor related with people is you should be able to inculcate your organization culture in a better way to the candidate. Let the candidate be negative. That shouldn't be a problem. Let the candidate be always complaining. That is not a problem. But if you are able to inculcate your organization work culture, see, this is how our company works. And it will be good if you are able to transform the idea of the company to the particular candidate. Say, for instance, when we take the company of Apple, Apple always encourages its employees to think different, to be more creative, right? Even if the worst or a negative candidate is entering Apple, the culture of Apple will make sure that the person is being creative, thinking always in a different aspect to make sure that it focuses on the vision part. So that is how the important element, that's the first element, people is affecting or improving the organization behavior. If you are having a negative candidate, it affects the organization. If you are having a positive candidate, it improves the organization to the next level. Okay, for that you just have to focus on two things. One is related with hiring part of the candidate, the second is related with passing the culture to the candidate. Okay, these are the two factors related to the first element. Then the next comes the structure. So now there is always a debate where no, the companies should not have structure. Even the founder or CEO should not have a structure or something like that, because millennials think that there should be no structures, there should be no hierarchies. But still, corporates are sticking to hierarchies. Corporates are sticking to that manager, assistant manager, something like that. Okay, that seniority level experiences, blah blah, right? How do you see this? And let's say let's try to have a small voting or a voting poll or something like that. If you are a person, if you are a HR professional and you are entering into a company, will you support hierarchy or will you oppose hierarchy? If you are supporting, just type support. If you are opposing, just type oppose. Let's see how you are being able to figure out. Okay, what do you think when you are a HR professional or when you are an industrial psychologist in a particular company? Will you be supporting the hierarchy factors, that is manager, assistant manager, the senior person should be given more respect, etc., or will you oppose it? Okay, yeah, structure is very simple, Sanjana. Like structure is nothing but, say for instance, if I am a team leader, I should mandatorily give my insights or give my reports to the manager. The manager should give a report to the head manager or something like that. Okay, so that you are being accountable to your senior. This is what the whole structure is about. Like, say for instance, a founder and CEO, below that he'll have the head managers, below that team leaders, below that the freshers or the associates. This is called the basic structure of an organization. Okay, support, okay, fine, yeah. So let's see, like why we should support or why we should oppose. We can discuss both things. Okay, the first reason is to support is, most of it, if you are having a hierarchy or if you are having a hierarchical terms in a particular company, what happens is you will be able to be accountable to someone. And specifically in a working culture, if you are accountable to someone, there are high chances that your work rate will improve. Okay, the next is about opposing. So here opposing is about, yes, I think as some Muskan has mentioned, that not the red tapeism or the inferiority. Yes, true Muskan. So that's what my next point was about too. So you should support the hierarchy because it helps you to be accountable to someone when you're allotted a work. If you're accountable to someone, your work rate or your productivity rate increases. Okay, in that way, we can support the hierarchy. In the next way is opposing the hierarchy. Opposing the hierarchy means there should be no favoritism. There should be no dictatorships specifically in a structure. If you're a manager, well and good. You should not make sure that, okay, I'm a manager, I will disrespect my team leader or I will mistreat my team member. No, that is not the way. Okay, this hierarchy is being given to you because it is your responsibility to make sure that the team members and the company grows. So here, if you're using that hierarchy in that negative way, obviously the whole system collapses. And this is how a proper structure of an organization can actually make a different benefit in a work culture. Okay, so we discussed about people. As a second point, we discussed about the structure, and as a third point, or as a third important element, we will be discussing about the technology. So what is technology, and why this technology is being represented in an organization where most of it is related with humans, and what is the role of a technology here? So before me saying the answer, I just wanted to check with you people about what is your thought process, how technology is been playing a role in an organization behavior, something like that. Okay, I'll give you very simple examples which you can easily understand. But before that, let's also try to gather some answers from your side. Okay, see, in learning we have two types. Okay, one is someone saying a definition and the other person listening to it, following it. That's it. The second factor is we trying something out and then the person in the opposite side rectifies the answer. So you learn from the rectifications. Obviously, learning from a definition and learning from rectifications are two different things. Always the second factor will be helpful for you. Okay. Now let's ask a small question. How this technology will play a role in organization behavior? You can just say your own points, any one liners. Okay. Okay. Technology facilitates working in an organization. Yes. 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 I think Sejal Prajapati says technology facilitates working in an organization. True. Okay. Asta says makes the repetitive work easier. Yes. True. True. Isukala says in this situation we are just work from home, so the technology helps. Yes. Work from home is an actual element. Good. Sneha Munda says it reduces the workload. True. True. It's used for the efficiency. Yes, yes. In completing the works. True, true. This technology has a very adverse power where you can always automate things. Say, for instance, let's say the basic concept of printing the files and keeping the notebook records of documents, and nowadays just having a pen drive or a Google sheet or a server. Okay, when say like before 30 to 40 years, all the industries, all the companies were having this loads and loads of documents. They were keep on writing initiatings and all stuffs. But now when the technology has been initiated inside, say for instance even MS Word is a technology, right? Even using an MS Word or a Google sheet is a technology. So when we use this technology, what happens? Obviously, as you people said, like it reduces the workload of an employee. It reduces the workload. It increases the productivity. It increases the efficiency factors. And the most important thing is your work gets completed. That is there is something called as fringe elements, where the small elements, okay, the small elemented works gets completed in an easier way, so that the employees can actually focus on the bigger problem. Okay, this technology helps us to save our time in focusing on the smaller factors, and it helps us to focus on the actual problems. Okay, say for instance, I'll try to give you a small example. Let's say this biometric. Okay, let's say this biometric factors, where even that is also a particular factor where in an organization, let's say there was always this particular problem related to the attendance of an employee. The employee would say that no, I have worked this much time, but there has been a miscalculation, my salary has been reduced, my salary has been detected in an unparliamentary way or something like that, right? But after this biometric concept of or after this introducing the biometric concept for every single employee in an organization, the concept has become very simple. No HR is monitoring you. No HR professional is going to monitor you. No employee can come and complain that I have actually worked. See, I have come to that time. I only left at this time. No, because the things has been automated, right? When the things has been automated, what happens? Obviously, you can't blame people. Okay, say for instance, like you can blame people, but you can't blame the technology. You can't blame a software because a software never lies. Technology never lies. Technology just represents whatever has been mentioned. It's just like that represented. Say for even we had few issues where if a person had left the company, say like before 2 or 3 hours, and they would not have mentioned the HR, and there would have been always this time collapsed factors. Someone introduced this biometric concept, and the technology made it very simple, right? So here, no one can question anything, and people, as an employee, you can prove your positive things because the technology is being mentioned. See, I have logged out at 5 o'clock, I have logged in at 9 o'clock, something like that. I'm just saying, giving you a small example of how technology has facilitated and improved the work culture, and specifically in an organization setup. Okay, fine. Now, you can give me a small example related with the environment. This is the fourth element, and the fourth and the last element in the organization behavior. Fourth and the last element is the environment, about or why environment has actually been an important element in an organization behavior. You can say any random examples in the chat box. I'll be looking at the chat box. I'll look at your answers. See, the whole concept of this, making sure that the session is more interactive and trying to include yourself also in the chat boxes, just to give you a better learning experience. Okay. At the end of the day, we are here to learn something. So let's be more interactive also, so that for you also the session looks more productive. Okay, so the question is very simple: how environment plays an important role in an organization setup? Answer in the chat box. Okay, hiring the right employees is essential to get the work done. Time. Okay, okay. Yeah, the question is very simple, like how an environment, not the employee. Okay, I think there was some miscommunication. Like it's not the environment, it's about the how an environment plays an important role in the work sector or in an organization. Okay, Rinki Gupta says promoting cooperation, competitions. Yes, yes. Muskan says a healthy and helping supportive environment. True, true. And Sejal says work environment impacts the job satisfaction level. True, true. Yes, I think I could get good answers. That's nice. That's nice. So Sneha Munda says it affects the quality of work done by the employees. Obviously, yes. Obviously, yes. Right? Okay, okay. Yeah. So yes, I'll try to give you a small, a relative or a relatable example. Okay. After 2020 COVID, most of the companies had actually introduced the work from home culture. Okay. When they had introduced this work from home culture, what they had did is specifically, obviously, of course, every single employee was given a laptop or a desktop and asked to work from home. But apart from that, most of the companies did something. That is, they just sent tables and computer chairs or the office chairs for their employees. If not, they were sending the money and asking the employees to buy a table for them and to buy a chair for them and a typical office setup. Do you know why this happened? Let's say that you are working in your laptop on your bed, just lying there and simply typing or working in the laptop or something, doing something works. Will it be productive, or you are working on a office chair. You're sitting on an office chair, and you're keeping your laptop on an office table, and then you're working. Obviously, the second one will give you the ambience of, okay, I'm not working from a home. This is also something similar to a work culture. I have a cabin, I have a table, I have a chair, I have a laptop, things like that. You know why companies spend this? Because they know that the environment actually is a very, very important factor for an organization. In startups, this culture also represents in startups or in co-working spaces. You would have seen this bean bags in the co-working spaces and in the startups, right? But in corporates, it will be just a small cabin. Why corporate is having a cabin, and why startups are representing with bean bags? Is there any link or connection to it? Yes, it is. Because startup has an ambience of being creative, taking ownership, not setting a particular limit. Okay, not setting a particular limit. There is less number of rules and regulations when you compare a startup with a corporate. And obviously, as someone said, like the comfortable factors in their work also plays an important role. So what happens? The ambience plays an important role. Ambience is nothing but the environment. You would have seen where many of the startups or the corporates have famous quotes by inspirational leaders like Steve Jobs, Jack Ma, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and many other people. Right? It is obviously a very simple factor to make sure that they just wanted to make sure that the employees are getting inspired. I'll try to give you a story which was mentioned in the autobiography of Bill Gates, or he also mentioned it in one of the interviews also, that in the beginning stage of Microsoft, he was not having a clock or a timepiece or a watch inside the office. Could you believe it? He did not have, and he mandatorily made sure that nobody has a watch, a timepiece, or a clock inside their working space. Because Microsoft was in the beginning stage, and Microsoft needed people who worked on the vision. Instead of looking at the watches, they wanted people to look at their vision, to build a product, to build successful softwares. So what happened? Bill Gates decided that there will be no timepiece, there will be no clock. It was before 20 to 25 years before. That is how great companies are built. That is how great companies had actually used this environment concept inside it. Why most of the corporates are having this AC environment step? One factor is obviously to protect their computers. The second factor is to make sure that it is important for the employees to have that extra Josh element in the working culture. This is how an environment has been set up. And I have a small question where, do you think that environment is only about table, chair, and all stuffs? No. Environment is not only about this. Environment is also about the way you work. Okay, environment is also about the way you work, the people who are around you, the teams you have organized, stuffs like that. Why most of the companies are encouraging people to do more fun activities inside the office, having birthday parties, having quarterly meetings in the resorts or five-star hotels. They just want to bring an environment that the employees are free to do what they want to. The employees are happy here. They just wanted to make an environment where the employees should be more happier. That is what the whole concept of an organization is. No organization wants their employees to have a sad face on Monday. Every organization are working a maximum for their effort to make sure that the employees even love their Mondays. The whole hating the Monday concept is a taboo factor. Like it has actually been dramatized in the social medias about hating Mondays. No, Mondays is not that much hateable. Like if your work ambience is good, and if you're a HR professional, and if you're able to have a positive ambience and a positive environment and a happier environment, in your organization, your employees will always love Mondays. So it is a HR professional's uh, authority or responsibility. It is a industrial psychologist's responsibility to make sure that you create a place to be happy. You create a workplace to be more happier and peaceful and creative and all stuffs like that. Okay, these are some of the important factors related to the elements of the organization behavior. We discussed about people, we discussed about technology, we discussed about structure, and we also discussed about the environment. So if you're clear with these factors till now, can I get your favorite emojis as an encouragement for me to continue with my session? Just send your favorite emojis, whatever you want to send. You can send your favorite emojis. Let me have some encouragement from your side. Okay, let's have a positive ambience in this session itself. Okay, just send your favorite emojis if you're clear with these terms. How organization behavior originated, what is organization behavior, what is Hawthorne effect, and what is the four elements of organization behavior, like people, structure, technology, environment. Send us your favorite emojis. Send us your favorite emojis. So our team who are working with the technology team, the training and development team who are working together for making this program a successful one, like they will also get motivated. Even I will also get motivated. Okay, okay. Yes, everybody. Don't hesitate yourself. Just be interactive. Just contribute your emojis. Okay, okay. Yes, Sanjana Verma, Muskan, Priyadarshini, Pooja Rajiv, Sneha Munda, Tweena Suresh, Astha. Yes, yes. Vidya, okay. Harini, okay. Mimitam, okay. Okay, okay. Vanita, okay, okay. That's nice. That's nice. I'm happy that you are also getting clear about the concept, and I could always uh, get that josh from the audience side. Even though this is a virtual session, even though it is a live session, I could literally feel the josh, and I could literally see the interest for you to update yourself, the interest for you to learn something new. You know, that is where it actually happens. That is where it actually increases your knowledge, your domain knowledge. We have Sejal, Sandra, Kavya, Reba Thomas, Revati. Yes, yes, yes. Sukale. Okay, okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I said. You right. Like this is where you'll be able to improve your knowledge when you have that passion to learn. So never stop learning. Even if you had a PhD, even if you had 10 years of experience or 20 years of experience, never stop learning. Because the industrial people who have actually achieved a lot from their own domain have one thing in common, and that common thing is they never stop learning. They always update themselves. Workshops like these, programs like this always will help us to get updated about the domain, and that is what we are doing here. Okay, okay. Yes, Priyanka, Veena, Venugopal. Okay, okay, thank you. Yeah, so we'll move to the next important and the final part of organization behavior workshop, that is the models of organization behavior. We have three models. Okay, the first model is related with an individual person. The second model is related with groups. The third model is related with the management setup. I'll repeat. We have three models of organization behavior. The first model is obviously individual. The second model is group. The third model is the management setup. Okay, fine. So let's see how this actually works. Let's say that in an organization behavior, how an individual person works. Okay, how an individual person works, how an individual person behaves. Say, for instance, if I am working in a particular company, how am I logging inside the company? Am I being punctual? Okay, am I completing my works? Okay, Am I developing myself while working in the organization itself? Okay. Am I helping my colleagues? This is also an important element. Yes. Am I helping my colleagues? And am I encouraging others? These are some of the positive traits an organization behaviors first model, that is the model with the individual person relates. Okay. Now, what are the negative traits if you want to figure out with an individual person? Is the person always complaining? Is the person not regular? Are they not consistent? Okay, are they not consistent? Are they not regular? Some things like that. Okay, and are they not doing their works? Are they blaming others? Are they judging people? Are they creating a toxic presence inside the organization? These are the negative traits from an organization behavior concept. As a professional, as a psychologist, or as an industrial person, you have to analyze individual employees, the positive traits and the negative traits. Now, let's see the group factor or the second model, that is group. How people as groups are behaving inside the organization. There'll be different sort of teams, right? There'll be creative team, there'll be marketing team, there'll be a social media team, there will be any technical teams, there is tech development teams, site teams, whatever it is. So you as a professional, as an industrial psychologist or as a HR professional, you just have to analyze that how people when they are inside the groups are behaving, specifically in the work culture. Okay, let's say that there was a while explaining about this, there was always a report. It was a recent report which was mentioned by Harvard University. They specifically represented that 87% of the creative people are not interested in working with guidelines. They are not interested with working on specific timeline. Okay, they are not interested in working with the specific timeline. This is related to the creative people. It may be designers, it may be artists, okay, it may be storytellers, anybody. So when I just decoded this particular article, the whole concept of this article was the group factors. It actually differentiates from an individual person. Let's say that when you are analyzing a sales team in an organization, every single organization will definitely have a sales team. When you analyze a sales team, and if the sales team are not interested to work based on targets, your whole organization setup collapses. When they are not interested to work with targets, what happens? The company will not earn profit. It will collapse the revenue systems, right? Similar to it, when you analyze a creative group of people, let's say like 4 or 5 designers, graphic designers or animative designers, something like that, they will not be interested to work with timelines. They will not like targets. When you say a graphic designer, you just give them a design and you ask the graphic designer, I just need this design within 20 minutes or 25 minutes. No, it doesn't happen like that, because this creative element needs times. Creative element needs a minimum of 1 to 2 hours, and if you are putting pressure to a creative person, they will not give you the right output. So as an industrialist or as an industrial person, you should be able to know how you are handling different sort of groups, how you are handling different sort of groups, and how these groups are being performing in an organization setup. Okay, this let me say the next set of important team where related with the customer management team. There is a team called as customer management in every single company. It may be with different names like customer management or customer relationship team, something like that. Let's say that if I'm a person from a customer relationship team and I am being very arrogant. Okay, I'm being very arrogant, or I'm just being very straightforward. I don't talk much. Will it be suitable for my position? Will it be suitable for my group? No. But as a HR professional, you should be able to analyze this, whether this group is making justice to their domain. Is a creative person trying something new? Is a creative person is experimenting every time? Is a social media team is being updated with the viral contents of Instagram or Twitter? You should be able to analyze how as a group they are working inside the organization. That is the second model of organization behavior. The first is as an individual, how a person works. The second is as a group, how they are working, how they are projecting themselves into the company, inside the company. That is the second factor. And the last factor is related with the, yeah, and the last factor is related with the simple term that is nothing but the management setup. Okay, how? This is not related with the employee, this is related to the management setup. Like how a management should be to their employees in an organization behavior models. Whether they should be bossy, whether they should be dominative, whether they should be encouraging, whether they should be strict or whether they should be lenient, all includes in this third model of behavior. Okay, all includes in this third model of behavior. Like say for instance, if you are a management, like and as a management you are just extracting the talent but not making sure that they get the benefits, you are a negative management. Like let's say like you are earning in very a lot of profits, but you are not able to take care of your employees. That's a problem, right? So this is how it works. To be very simple, this is how it literally works. Okay. So the third model is the organization. In the organization behavior, it is about the team or it is about the management setup. Okay, fine. The first thing is related with your individual. The second model is related with your group. The third model is related with the management setup. Okay, fine. So these are the three models in organization behavior, and we have come to the end of the session. And the next 5 to 10 minutes will be a Q&A session where you can ask your queries, and I'll make sure that every single queries are being addressed. And before the Q&A session, I just wanted to inform you people that we are conducting our August month batch of industrial and organizational psychology internship program. And this industrial and organizational psychology program, related with the posters and related with the details, it will be posted in your WhatsApp group where the link was shared. Okay. And we also provide group offers for people who are combining, or we're also trying to provide class offers. Say for instance, if like 10 people come from a same class, 5 people come from the same class or something, we are also providing group offers for the internship program. The batch is going to start from August 1 to August 30. Okay. And yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah, I think the team will be just making note of. Yes, Sham Sri, ma'am, like we will make sure that the team will be contacting you and the team will be just making sure of the details in the comment box, and we will try to make sure that it has been contacted. Yeah, so as I said, like this is what we are trying to bring. We are opening the internship applications. It is a paid program, and the cost is the cost and the group offer details will also be mentioned. And not only related to it, in the August month batch we have four programs listed. The first program is industrial and organizational psychology internship program. The second program is related with clinical psychology internship program, and the third is related with the counseling psychology internship program. We also provide CBT certificate courses. Okay, we also provide the CBT certificate courses. Every single details will be posted in the WhatsApp group itself. So if you are interested, you can just apply for the factors and our team will reach you. Okay, yes. So the next 5 to 10 minutes we'll be ready to take the questions, and we can make sure that every questions have been addressed related with the organization behavior which we discussed for the past 1 hour. Okay, so Sukalai says the leadership qualities does exist in organization or not. Of course, it will exist. It will exist. There is no doubt in it, Sukalai, because only if you are able to include a leadership responsibility to every single person and understand that this leadership responsibility doesn't stop with one single person. Okay, it keeps on figuring out. Okay, fine. The concept is very simple, where if you are a team leader or a team manager or HR professional, there is always possibilities where you will be dealing with leadership responsibilities, where you will be assigned with team members or something. Okay, many people think that no, only if I am into as if I'm promoted as a team leader, I should focus on my leadership qualities. If I'm promoted as a manager, I should focus on leadership qualities. No, because leadership qualities doesn't come in a single day. It comes through rigorous practice. It is not a talent. We don't say it as leadership talent. We say it as skill. Skill is something to be practiced and learned and improved, right? So obviously, in every industry, in every organization, leadership skill is an important factor which will help you to manage your team, help you to manage with the resource factors and stuffs like that. Okay, yeah, and someone has mentioned related with what is the scope after OB. Yes, obviously, the most important factor specifically in the psychology would be industrial psychology is the future. Whether you believe it or not, every companies are spending, say, like crores and crores of money to make sure that their employees are getting benefited. They just wanted to take care of their employees. They just wanted to make sure that they bring more employee welfare programs. Okay, and that is why organization behavior is always that is after doing an industrial psychology MS, or after doing in certificate courses or programs, it is your opportunities are always wide, because every company is requiring and have now understood the importance of an industrial psychologist, or as a person who's dealing with the organization behavior concepts. Companies have understood the importance of them, and as of now they are recruiting many people, specifically in the startups as well as the corporates also. Okay, any other questions? So if there are any questions, you can just type it in the comment box, and the team will be sharing it. The team will be sharing it in the display, so that we'll be able to address those queries. Yes, the next, as I mentioned, like the next 5 to 10 minutes, like if you have any queries, you can ask it, and we will make sure that every single queries are being addressed, and we'll just wind up the session. Okay, I think yeah. So the organizations prefer a student graduate in MBA over MA in OB. So understand that the difference between MBA and OB is something related with, this MBA factors are actually managing people. Okay, and a person who's in MBA, or a person who's in from the MBA background, they actually manage people. They don't take care of the people. They just manage the people. Okay, your whole difference of working itself will be different. From an MBA and an MA and OB will be completely different, where an MBA will focus on the things they'll just focus on whether the work is being done, whether the factors are being represented. That's it. But a person who is from the psychology background, from an industrial psychology background, they just make sure that they set up the layers of an employee welfare factor, and they address the problem from that employee's perspective. They don't look it from the dominative or the management perspective. So it depends on the organizations, and each, whether you are an MBA or whether you are an MA and OB, each has its own pros and cons. And institutions and organizations and companies obviously will prefer both. There is no specific representations to it, because as I mentioned earlier, like now before 3 or 4 years, the importance of this was not understood by most of the companies, but now every companies have been understanding that only if their employees are taken care, the company will grow. So they have started focusing on and started investing on things like this related to the employee welfare programs, recruiting people from the psychology background, specifically from the industrial psychology background. And there has been a wide increase of recruiting industrial psychologists in the last 3 to 4 years, specifically in corporates. So could you suggest some good colleges to study OB? Okay, fine. Yeah, I think since we are also a private entity, like it will not be good to suggest a particular college, but most of it you can just check with the deemed universities. Say for instance, I just don't want to prefer a particular college, because that would be something like, okay, this person is supporting this college or something. I just don't want to get into that factor. But instead, you can try to take syllabus. What are the syllabus they are figuring out? Are they having any associated programs? Are they having any industrial relations? Say if this particular college is having any industrial relations with any sort of companies, any MOAs have been signed, something like that. Before applying for OB or before applying for industrial organization psychology in a particular college, check whether they have any good track records of connecting their students with companies or with foreign universities or something like that. That could be done. Okay, any other questions? Okay, last question, please. Okay. Okay. So that's it. I think thank you. Thanks for the time. I hope this session was useful for you, and you can say your feedbacks and try to complete the feedback form, so that you will be only people who fill the feedback forms will be receiving the certificates. And thank you. Thanks for the time. Thanks for attending the workshop. If you are interested in applying for the industrial and organization psychology internship for the August month batch, do register your name. It's a paid program where you will be applying with your fellows or your people, and you'll be paying the company for a particular time period, and the details are posted in the WhatsApp group. Thank you. Thanks for the time. Have a great day.